Hello, and welcome to the submission video for Metroid Fusion Oil Spill. This is going to be a fairly quick run, so just a few things before we get started here. Oil Spill is a Metroid Fusion ROM hack in which they've adjusted the event flag to be set on the last one, so that way it is a more open feel game, like more open world. You can collect whatever you need in whatever order you would like. In the same vein of like a Super Metroid, which is completely spun on its head. There are different damage values as opposed to the vanilla game, as well as a lot of differences, as you're gonna see. So let me just get started here, and we'll be on our way. Beginning is going to be opening up. It's going to look exactly the same as before, but the text is slightly different. Essentially, what the story is here, you are investigating why there is an oil spill off of this oil tanker, and it's your job to go release the repair bots to fix it. However, we're not going to go and release any repair bots. We're just gonna go and make sure we get off the station as quickly as possible. We're essentially just gonna ignore orders and do whatever we have to get off the station ASAP. So, the first thing you might notice is, boy, there's a lot of really annoying enemy placements. Unfortunately, yes, that is the case, but it's not awful. This actually has a lot of interesting movement tech that the original doesn't, including a single wall jump patch, which allows you to jump along a wall, a singular wall, without having to go back and forth, unlike the original, which required you to, which did not allow you to do that. Right away, we've got missiles, and these 15 missiles, again, another difference is that we're going to get 15 missiles here. These will be the missiles that we're going to be using for a majority of this run. And they're the normal missiles. So this is an eye door. For whatever reason, you just walk right through it. When it was designed, I imagine there was not a block or a door hidden behind it, so you're able to just damage boost right through it. Takes out a lot of the RNG in this run. So the difference with missiles here is the normal missiles, they do 16 damage. So in the original, it would take 3 missiles to destroy that core, but since the core has 30 health, I'm pretty sure, we're able to 2-shot it. The original game, the missiles do 10, so Arachnus usually takes 15 in the original. This one, he only takes around 12 or 13. So single wall jumping is actually going to give us a lot of opportunity here to move through rooms in a very interesting way that we wouldn't be able to otherwise. Now that that's over with, we're just going to continue on. So the first item that we're going to go get, oh well, we already have the first item technically, I guess. The second item we're going to go get is going to be it's going to be the charge beam. We're going to be grabbing very few items here. There are not too many items in the ROM hack for expansions. Normally I would grab 3, or actually I'm going to be grabbing 3 E-tanks. I technically skipped the 4th one, well, no, I can still grab 4. It's much faster to grab this extra one anyway. So typically I'm going to be grabbing 4, say, world record attempts, which I currently hold after creating the route with some input. Didn't make it. I've whittled down the amount of items that I'm grabbing. For safety, I'm going to grab a 4th tank. Usually I would just grab 3 and be on with it. But for, say, marathons, I'll grab a little extra just for safety, because there's one fight in particular in this run that is... it's problematic with the items that we're grabbing. Not too problematic to where it's impossible, it's just really annoying to have to fight, do this fight. Unfortunately, it's the fastest way that I've found to be able to do it. So we just passed through the ocean, underneath the ocean, up into this, like the oil freighter area. And you're gonna notice that it's kind of abandoned, and it's, I guess the occupants have all been attacked by the X-Parasites. We're gonna go up, and we're going to go get this charge beam here. I will grab this, an extra missile pack, even though it's technically a little slower. I will grab it just in case, to have the extra insurance. For the most part, we're gonna just use the single shot, or a charge beam shot, after we get the wide beam, or spazer, as this game calls it, because I don't know, you know, creative choices. And we're not really going to use missiles a whole lot, because missiles are really not that helpful until we get the fusion missiles at like the very end of the run. So I'm going to try to do a double here. I did not get it. I'm going to try one more time, and I got it. Excellent. So typically the charge beam core will take, 3 shots, and I'm able to line 2 missiles up, on the vertical. So the charge beam is interesting in this hack, because the charge beam's real main function is not as broken in vanilla. Vanilla does insane amounts of damage. In this one, it is reduced, and they've added like the damage values stack for the beams. So the charge beam doesn't have its the 2-particle shot anymore, like it does in vanilla, and it does significantly less damage. So while it was broken in vanilla, it's not as broken here, so we tend to not do it much. So we get charge beam when we go immediately to Zazabi. The other interesting thing about charge beam is that its primary function is using it to open those gates that we just saw. So Zazabi here is not that much different, except for the fact that there is this acid everywhere. So you still have to use in some shots. Good. Alright. Get a double missile here. Snuck it in. And we're good. Excellent. That was a really good segment. Now we're just going to leave the way we came, because we're able to just single wall jump. There we go. And get back up this way. Originally, the first time I played through this, I went in the wrong door. I went the exit way to get in. But since I-doors in this are just a creative suggestion at most, we're able to just walk right in the front door and leave the way we came in, to be as quick as possible. Now that we've got high jump and ball jump, we're able to have a little bit more flexibility with our movement, as well as jumping higher. Now, right from here, we're going to go right down to get wide beam. We're going to grab some items here first. We're going to grab a missile pack and an E-tank before we head down. And again, here's another charge gate. It can only be opened with the charge beam. Grab these 2 items here, very close together, really free to get. Honestly, you don't waste too much time. And then we're going to go down to the engine area. So this is where it's going to get a little interesting, because in the engine area, it's, as you would expect, I guess, it's going to be a little hot down there. And we don't have Varia's suit just yet. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do a hell run like you would sometimes see in Super Metroid, where I'm just gonna run through heated rooms to get to where I'm going. and I'm going to do the fight while taking heated damage. So it can be a little tight, but it's not that bad. Oops, get in there. Here's the heated run. Thankfully, the distance to it is not far at all, and I'm just going to take it easy here and grab the red X just in case. So we're going to go down, so that way we can get to the little guy here to activate the fight. And then we're just going to do this, just so that way, because if we take shots from this thing, it's gonna do a lot of damage here. And we're just going to make it so that way it fires at the wall. And we're just going to keep damaging it until it's destroyed. Thankfully, when we get the wide beam upgrade, it's going to give us full health. Standing here keeps the missiles and the health drops to be, floating right near us, so that way we're never really in too much danger. Alright, now we've got the Spazer Beam. And normally, you would hit that little thing, this little button here, and you'd get a message like Ridley and lower engines, but we're just going to leave. And doing that, it sets the game to think that we're still in emergency, which is going to have some very interesting effects. If I was to go through that door, like the Ghidorah, or the eye door, it would, when I came out, the eye would just be flashing numbers, because it's supposed to have a timer in the background, but it's just very confused. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is we're going to leave the heated section behind us. We're just going to go right to get Varia Suit. We need Varia Suit so that way we can get to Nightmare, which will give us Gravity Suit, which is going to be absolutely needed. So here is the Mega X fight. A little different. As you can see, there's that little number glitch that I was just mentioning. Okay, guys, come on. What's going on here? Alright, come on, guys. As opposed to the original, we have two Mega X here that we have to fight at the same time. And usually it's not that trolly. It'll actually charge at you most of the time. But we got a little unlucky. So now that we've destroyed both of them, we have to do the core fight as usual. I'm going to be jumping and shooting double so that to do twice the damage at once. Should be one more. Oops, I'm a missile off now because I didn't hit that. Now we have Varia Suit, so now we can go through heated rooms without taking damage, and we can also go through cold rooms. And it has an awesome palette to it. So what I was doing there, I was just trying to do as much damage as possible to the cores. Ideally, I would have, hit both the flare and the 3 parts of the beam at the same time to deal the most amount of damage. However, it was being a little difficult with me there, so I just had to fight them a little separately. Normally, if I'm going for world record attempts here, I wouldn't be going this way, but this way will enable me to get another E-tank in the next room to make the Nightmare fight just a bit more safe and marathon friendly. And it's very free to get. The route leads back to the same place anyway. Very, very free item. Just gonna make our way through here. Oops. Now we're just gonna camp this way. Oh, that was a little too high. And we're just going to be on our way out of the engines here and go to the ventilation connection. This game has 4 areas, technically. Ocean, like the opening deck that you started with. There's the engines. I guess there's 5 areas, technically. Sorry. There's the cargo hold, the engines we were just in. There's that ventilation shaft area, which I don't really consider to be too connected. The ocean, the main deck where we started, and the habitation deck, where the quarters are where we first got high jump and everything. Now we're just going to make our way through the cargo hold to go to the Nightmare fight directly. Now that we've got 4 E-tanks and we've got some missiles, we're all set. Normally we would want... Originally I had routed Space Jump to make this fight a little bit more convenient and easier, but not about easy. I like to make things a little difficult. That and the Yakuza fight just took way too long. Ooh, that's unfortunate. These jumps off of crumble blocks are actually frame perfect, so I'm trying to get it to where I'm not you know, having to do the single crumble jump. Now we're going to go up. And normally I would just walk right through the door, but I want to have as many missiles as possible because this fight is actually the most technical fight of the entire run. And it actually had me take about, I want to say, like 5 pages of notes just to get everything correct and have everything figured out. As you can see, the room's a little bit smaller, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different fight than you would normally see in vanilla. I'm going to run to the top of the room like you would see in a low percent run, but I'm going to be firing missiles up into his little gravity distortion unit that hangs off the bottom of him here. And in doing this, I'm going to deal as much damage as I possibly can to advance the fight to the second round as soon as possible. And I'm just going to fire as many missiles as I can into that unit, and try to take as little damage as possible, so that way we can get the fight into the third phase as quickly as I can. Unfortunately, it was a little slow at the gate there, so I'm just gonna... Oops. A little too much here. Alright, though. That should take about one more shot, I think. Oops. Come on. You can do this. Embarrassing. Come on, Nightmare. I must have... There we go. Alright, now that we're in the third phase of the fight, this is where things get interesting. Because the main thing that I'm going to be using is going to be the charge beam, like a low percent run. I'm going to use the excess missiles that I have here. Deal as much damage as possible. Now, normally you would see a fight where... Hello, don't do that. You're just, you know... In a normal low percent run, you're just doing this. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get him to do this as low as possible so that way I can run up and I can get charge flare shots at his face to deal a little bit of extra damage, kind of like right there. So you can kind of see it in the middle of his face. You can see the crossing patch there, the line that shoots across his face. That's the indication that I'm hitting the flare. Ooh, don't fly straight up, please. Fine. I want to hit all 3 shots as often as possible to deal as much damage as I possibly can. And I'm going to try to, unfortunately, since I don't have too much movement variability, because of the fact that I only have high jump and not space jump like usual when fighting him, my movement is slightly limited. I'm going to take this one a little easy. Oops, okay. Alright, almost done here. Takes about 50 shots for this fight with using this charge beam only. Oops, get out of there, please. Thank you. He really is just trying to mess up my spot here. I'm not enjoying the fact that he keeps flying straight up at me. Flying straight up is the worst pattern you can get because, as I was saying, like you have so much limited movement that he could really just mess you up. That's almost as bad, but it's not as bad. I'm better off just going for this. Oops. Alright, don't go straight up, please. Fly to the right. Alright, that's fine. Okay, you can settle now, please. There we go. Easy fight. A lot faster than you would imagine. Alright, now I just gotta get the green X to get missile drops now. That's not as easy as a task as you would imagine. The other interesting thing about this ROM hack is that you don't get bombs at all. You have to play through the game without getting bombs in any capacity. Some doubles now. Speed this up a little bit. That one would have had to be frame perfect, so that one's unfortunate. Oh man, okay. The green X there is really nice. I want to see as many green X as possible so that way I can just keep getting missiles so I can keep getting doubles. Alright, perfect. Unfortunately, the next portion is really dangerous, and I'm hoping that I get it. So right after this, there's an interesting thing with this, and in the route for... You know, when I'm going for world record attempts, I would, you know, have another one of these, a reverse one, but this one is going to be a chase. So the XAX monster at the end of the runs, usually for vanilla, is going to be chasing us through this room and hopping at us. So I'm going to try to, this is bad. I'm trying to get away from him. I can already see him. That's not good. get in there, please. Please, please, please. Alright. And we're good. We're fine now. Ooh, boy, it's really nervous. It makes me really nervous because to get through there, it's really tight movement, and not having space jump, it's a little bit more difficult, but not impossible. Jump over these fish. Ow. Rude. Going on our merry way. Ooh, ow. Alright, you could go, if you could, there we go. Thank you. So rude. Alright, so coming back in, we're going to open up the security room, give us access to the, diffusion missiles, level 4 doors, as well as, you know, being able to go beat the game. So from here, we're just going to go get Speedbooster. And what Speedbooster is going to allow us to do is just have access to the very final boss, which is Omega. Now we have diffusion missiles. Our missiles are enhanced for the one and only time, and they're really good now. They deal like 4 times the amount of damage we were just dealing with missiles, and we have way too many of them at this point. Plus we get to freeze things. So I'm gonna just drop down here. We're just gonna make our way back to the cargo hold and kind of backtrack a little bit. Because we have to get all the way back up to the habitation area where we first started out to get to Ceres. Alright. Ooh, taking that bit there, that's fine. A-okay. Again, like I said, we're just going to be backtracking here, just to go back. Except instead of when we go through the ventilation shaft, we're going to go up the ventilation shaft, as opposed to, I don't know why I did that, as opposed to through it, as like we did from going from the engines to cargo hold. Free health here, thankfully, and now we're just going to make our ascent. Ascension? Ascent? We're going to go up. Make it easy. And just backtracking. That guy can get shit if you're not ready for him. Just these guys sometimes. Oops. So, instead of going back through the ocean, we're going to take a little bit of an alternate path here. We're going to go back down, and because we don't have wave beam, we can't really go back through the charge room. Not that we would really want to. It's a little kind of out of the way, in a way, but now we're going to go left. And this is going to put us back over top, so we don't have to go through that pesky water, but we're going to have to go through some acid here. So we're making our way back up. The oil freighter. And just walking through some acid. Getting a little cheeky there. Ball jump, and I'm just going to run through the acid. It's a little bit faster. The gravity suit ensures that I don't take too much damage. Same with the Varia. I'm not taking as much damage as I have both suits. Since I have diffusion missiles, I can take this shortcut. Now we're back outside. Right above me is where the final boss area is, but to get there you need either Screw Attack or Speedbooster. Screw Attack route is very different because we end up getting Plasma. I mean, well, it's a little different. Yeah, I haven't fully finished routing it yet, but that one's gonna have to go fight Ridley and get Plasma, so it's very different route. So we're gonna go back down here, same way we went to get the Morph Ball. Instead, though, of going all the way down to where the Morph Ball area is, we're just gonna go right, and we're going to jump in this water. Gravity suit isn't... You don't necessarily need the gravity suit to be able to get to this boss. You can do it without getting gravity suit. You just need high jump or ball jump, so that way you can get through a shortcut that's available. But this makes it a little bit easier. We're not going for low percent here. Oops. Making our way through here. Weird kind of treadmill there. I don't know what that was about or why that does that, but that, and we'll just we'll take our refill here because Ceres can be a little tricky sometimes. The arena for fighting Ceres is going to be very different as to what you usually see. Usually you see platforms, and there are the platforms now, but we're going to have to fight him while in the water. Partially why getting Gravity Suit is as good as it is. Oh, I cannot believe I just missed that shot. Oh, I missed it again. Please stop missing. Oh, boy. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. Come on. You're embarrassing me, Ceres. Why are you doing this? There we go. Alright, now we just gotta wait until he does this again. This is gonna take like 4 or 5 shots. Alright. Now we're getting some good patterns. Still a little nervous though, because... Oh boy. That works. Okay, this will be a good getting some shots, 2 more shots. Okay, 1 more. Oh, I missed. Okay, it's fine. Oh, crap. Okay, we're good, we're good. Easy, easy. Upgraded missiles also change the, how much, like, time delay there is between shots. Oops. I'm surprised that I'm ahead, honestly. Alright, so now we're going to just go back and now that we have Speedbooster, we have access to the final fight. Oops. Guys, get out of my way. You're being incredibly rude. I'm on PB pace. Or world record pace, technically. Stop being so rude. Alright, now that we're out of that danger zone, get up there, please. Thank you. I'm just gonna get back out. And I'm going to pray that I don't beat the exit. Alright, excellent. Alright, so please don't beef this, please, 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 please. Alright, cool. Alright, got it. Fall down. We're gonna carry this through. Nailed it. Excellent. Alright, so this is the final boss, Omega. It's gonna be a slightly longer fight than usual. Because Omega is... We don't have the plasma beam to do penetration damage. So I'm gonna have to just run in and out from underneath and deal as much damage as I possibly can to the chest with the ice wide beam combo. Alright, let's see. Oops, come on. Ooh, come on. No, 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 no. Stay put. Oh, why? Come on. Alright, there we go. That fight is a little stressful, but we got through it. Easy peasy. And now, we just make our escape. We didn't release the nanobots, we didn't save the freighter, but, I mean, we got in, got out, we picked up some cool items, and I guess that's a new world record? Whatever. I'm just gonna keep grinding this time down anyway. Clearly, sub 28 is possible. And it's a lot shorter than the vanilla game. which is really nice. So again, credits go to all these people for helping out. Of course, none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for Speedimus, who created the ROM hack with the help of everybody else that he just listed on that final screen. Now it's just the credits. And we get a shot of the animals that were not even present at all in the area. It's a really interesting design. You don't get bombs, you don't get power bombs. It's just, here's missiles, here's energy, go. And whatever you find, you can use, which is an amazing concept. Alright, thank you for watching this, as we're getting to the end of the credits. I just want to give a shout out to the Metroid construction community that made this ROM hack possible, as well as all SM and any other Metroid game ROM hacks that are out there right now, and for always pushing just what you could possibly do with these. It's a lot of fun playing these. And routing this has been a blast. Should be a 22. Alright. Excellent.